everybody. It's been a minute since I've been live here on YouTube and Facebook. Yeah, I think August 1st was the last time, and that's when my graphics card decided to stop working altogether. So thankfully I was able to get on here tonight so that we could enjoy this time together. So it's a little bit more delayed on YouTube than it is on Facebook. So I'll try to keep up with the comments as they come in. Let's see what's going on. How have you guys been? I've been great. It's been a busy time since August 1st. So I've had a lot of things that have gone on in my life since then, but we won't get into all that boring stuff. Let's just say I'm not ready for winter. Not at all. Okay, let me check my Facebook one. Okay, Facebook is pretty close to where I'm at. Alright, so we're going to do this brush bag. This is something that I painted up a year and a half ago, maybe? I really don't remember. I'm thinking it was around a year and a half ago. And I taught a version of this at OKC Palooza Convention as a Make It Take It. So tonight I'm going to be doing it on a larger bag, and I'll show you some examples of some that I have done already. I did quite a few different bags and different surfaces, but I donated a lot of that to the convention for their auction, so I have my original stuff and the one that I painted. I think the one I painted at Palooza as I was teaching. So move that over there. Okay, so I'm going to put me up in the corner. So say hello, say where you're from. There is one thing that I want to mention to you guys, if you're watching on YouTube especially. YouTube added a hype button below the video, in the general vicinity where you can subscribe and leave a thumbs up and a comment and all that stuff, and it's called the hype button. That's what it's named, the hype button, and it's only there for the first 7 days of a video being posted. So when you hit that hype button, it boosts my video a little bit more. So as many people as can hit that hype button in the first 7 days really lets YouTube know that it's a valuable video, and they'll push it out for more people to see. It doesn't cost anything, it really doesn't make me any money, but it does push my video out so more people can see it. So if you're watching, when the hype button shows up, I don't know if it will show up on a live until after the live ends, but be sure and hit that hype button for me. I sure would appreciate it. So hi Linda, how are you? I posted the link on my membership group on Facebook as well, so that if you guys wanted to click that link and watch, you could do that. So this is the bag I'm going to be painting on, but before we get started on this, I'm going to show you the ones that I have done. Now this was my original bag. I really just painted it up for me. I was just playing around with the Deco Arts Deco Earth paints and decided to paint this bag up, and I just did it very, very loosely, almost impressionistic kind of painting. I didn't want anything perfect or anything like that. I just wanted it to resemble paintbrushes and for them to look worn and well used. So this was my original bag that I did. Now, I have to tell you that some paints on some fabrics will cause the fabric to almost like raise. Some people said they've never had that happen, but I have it happen almost every time that I paint on fabric. Because it's like, it acts like a piece of wood, where if you get it wet with, the moist paint or the medium or whatever, it wants to leave a rougher finish when it's dry. So all I do is take a brown paper bag or a really super fine sanding pad and very lightly rub over that, and then it's smooth as glass. It's like it was made on the fabric. So if you ever paint anything that's fabric and it's a little textury and you don't like that feeling, get your brown paper bag out and give it a good little rub. So this was my original bag that I painted. And then this is the one that I taught at OKC Palooza this year. Just a little crossbody bag here. And see, I did these brushes a little bit neater, not quite as impressionistic. So you can paint your brushes however you want to paint them. And I also did a much longer bag that I could carry some of my art supplies in. And on the back, I'm going to be painting splatters on the back. I just haven't gotten around to finishing that yet. I also did a ball cap. I really need to keep this in the car because I have a horrible time when I get out in the sun that I can't see anything, so I'm constantly putting my hand over my head like this. And I told my husband today, I said, I really need a ball cap in the car so that I can, have something to grab when I'm out walking around in the sun and can't really see anything. So I painted this ball cap, and I put glitter on the word here. I think I used fabric glue. Put fabric glue on there and I sprinkled it with glitter. Can't remember, it's been so long ago. And then I did this pair of shoes. And I have worn these shoes. But these shoes were a lot of fun. I think I just got these shoes on Amazon. And I put the splatters all around the edges. Now on these shoes, when I painted these, it did raise the texture on this fabric. It made it rough, and so I did the same thing. I just grabbed my superfine sanding pad or a brown paper bag and sanded them. So now it just feels like it's made on the fabric. You can't even feel the paint. So this I did with fabric paint. And this and this were with Deco Earth paints. And then these two were with fabric paints as well. You can use any kind of paints that you want on fabric. You can use fabric paints. You can use just your regular acrylic paints. You can use the Deco Earth line that Deco Art has. You can use multi-surface paints. I've used multi-surface on fabric and it does beautiful. Hi Brenda, shoes and hat are so cute. Thank you so much. Hat is so cute. Hi Jackie. Yeah, I really love that hat. And I did do two hats. I did a white one, but that one went into the auction at the convention. And so yeah, so we're going to paint, and I'm going to use fabric paints tonight. So you can use any colors that you want. When I taught this at Palooza, I limited my colors, so I didn't have to do a whole bunch of paints. I did, I think, 8 colors. I have a few more out tonight because I'm doing a little bit bigger area, but you can use whatever colors that you want. You can mix your colors. These are all So Soft fabric paints that I'm using tonight. So I can tell you what colors I've got here if you want. This one is dark rose. This one is lavender. I've got Indian turquoise, which is a light turquoise. This is one. These right here are colors that I used at the convention when I taught it. I think I added 3 colors on here that I didn't. This one is bright avocado. I'm just going to put a little bit out right now. This is black. We won't need it for a while, but I'll go ahead and put it out. And then we've got Mediterranean blue. I'm only saying the colors if you want the colors. I did not list them in the description below. I might go back and do that. This is red pepper. And I also haven't put a line drawing on my website yet. I had some kits left from Palooza, so I got all those sold. So now I'll probably put put the pattern on my website, and I'll try and get that done tomorrow. That's just brown. Just brown. And then the yellow was bright yellow. This is fuchsia. A lot of the Americana line have these same names, except for the Mediterranean blue and the dark rose, but that's kind of a fuchsia color. This is ocean blue. This is one I did not use, and this one I didn't use at OKC. That's fuchsia. That's fuchsia. I don't know. That's a really bright pink color. This is cat orange hue. Okay, and then of course I need some white. Now, when I paint fabric, I do like to use my older brushes, because fabric can be a little bit rough on your brushes, depending on the fabric. This is fabric medium. Now, I do not need fabric medium when I use fabric paints, but I like to use it because it helps me blend the paints. If I want to blend it on the paint brushes and get a little bit more smooth look, or even just putting in the paint to begin with, it just makes it go on a little bit smoother. So you do need it if you're using like just straight acrylic paints. It's going to help the paint stick and go on a little bit better. You can mix it with the paint, but I like to just apply it to the surface and, you know, work the paint while it's still wet on the surface. So hi Veronica, good to have you here. So anyway, if you have any questions, just pop those questions in there and I'll answer them. I'll try to bounce back and forth between Facebook and YouTube, although it's showing me the Facebook comments here. But on YouTube it's showing me the Facebook comments too, so I don't know. It's kind of weird. Okay, so I'm going to use a little bit older brushes. Not my best brushes. You don't want to use your best brushes, and you don't want to use your absolute worst brushes. So I am going to spritz water on my palette. Now, I won't be using water until I get some layers on my paint. I use the medium as my water as I'm painting, and then as I need to build on top of those layers, I can get a little bit of water occasionally if I need it. Like when I go to float, which we're going to do very little floating, but when I go to do that, I definitely want the water, because I'll be on top of all those layers. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab some of this fabric medium, and I'm going to put some on some of my brushes. I'll just do a few at a time. I'm just going to lay some in here so it gives me a little bit of time to work it. Now, if you're painting on a lighter colored bag, one of the things that I did on my light one and my hat was I put black in between them, kind of blended it out at the top, but that was to give a little bit of shadow between my brushes. So, but painting on a black one, black fabric, you don't have to worry about that. And when I put my line drawing on, because this bag is, you know, kind of a weird shaped bag, I did cut my cardboard corners. Now I do have cardboard inside here, and the cardboard has, I put Glad Press and Seal on mine because it's just easier. And then I slide it in there. I cut my cardboard to fit as tight as I can in the bag. Whatever bag I'm painting, I want it to fit tight because I want it to stretch that fabric just slightly. I want the fabric to be as taut as possible. You don't want your fabric bunching up on you as you're painting, because that will just cause all kinds of problems. So I cut my corners here because the bag angles here. And then I taped it so my handles won't get in the way. Nothing is loose for me to worry about it. You want to make sure if you pick it up, you don't have paint on your hand. So I'm going to do a couple of more brushes here with some fabric medium. And I'm just putting a light little layer. It probably looks like a lot, but it's just a light layer. It's just going to help me move the paint a little bit. You could do the whole entire whole entire thing here if you want. We won't get to the bristles for a minute. So I'm going to start painting on these, and then as I work along I'll add some more medium. So you can mix any of these colors to get your own unique colors that you want. So just start by putting some paint here and there. Now these, they have ferrules, so we want to stay off of the ferrule. You should be able to see a line there where the ferrule is. I'm just going to wipe that off. What color do I want to use? Let's use this bright pink. You don't have to wash your brush. I see I just got into the ferrule. You don't have to wash your brush in between colors if you don't want to. You can add white to your colors if they're not, opaque enough for you. And you can paint the entire brush one color if you want to, but that's really not the look I was going for. I don't even know if I put medium on this brush. I don't think I did, because the paint wants to drag right here. So pick up a little medium. You will have to do a couple of layers, so this is not a one and done kind of thing. But anyway, back to transferring my line drawing. Let me get back to that so you know where my brain is going. I just transferred on the tops of the brushes. It doesn't really matter what shape you make the tops of your brushes, just any kind of shape. And then I took a ruler, and from those tops I drew my straight lines down. And I like to start in the middle and get the first one nice and straight, and then I know when I go out they're all going to be straight. So just keep that in mind there. So this is all I did. I just took some paint, and the first layer is just going to look terrible. You know how it is when you paint. The first layer you put in there is just like, oh my goodness. That needs a little bit of medium because it's draggy. And because I put the medium on there, it's going to make it a little bit more transparent, but I want to be able to move my paint. Now, like I said, you don't have to, I'm going to make that a short ferrule on that one. Of course, I just put two blue ones beside each other. I think I need to get some more medium on here. Get a few more of these brushes with a little bit of medium on them. That way I can just work all the way across. I don't want to put too much. I know it probably looks like I'm putting a ton on here. I don't want to put so much that it thins my paint so much. I feel like I had too much on a couple of those, and the pink really thinned down. I'm not even worrying about going all the way out to the edges, just getting a little bit on here. Like I said, you could mix the medium in with your paint, but that is going to thin your paint just a little bit. And we don't worry about the bristles. The bristles are the ferrules. They're not the part we're working on right now. We got to get a layer on our handles, and then we can work on our ferrules and our first layers on our bristles. So if you were one of the fortunate few that got either one of the kits, or I had some bigger bags from a class I taught at a seminar, then you've already got your line drawing on your bag. You've got your cardboard prepared, because the ones that I had for sale already had the cardboard in them. And then this brush over here, I added it on a while ago because I thought there's a lot of that edge left, but I'm not really liking where it's at, so I drew it on there just with a chalk pencil. I'll go ahead and try and get some paint on it. Alright, let's go into some paint now. and put some paint. I'm going to try not to put one color next to another. That's not my goal. I'm occasionally going to wash my brush out, but most of the time I'm just going to rinse it out. So let's get some of this lighter blue. We'll put it over here. You paint as much of the handle that you want to paint. And this size brush I'm using is a 12. It's a 12 flat, just an old brush. Let's get some of that green on some of these. I don't want you to try and scrub anything. I just want you to put some paint on. I'm just kind of tickling it with the tips of the brush to kind of spread it out where I want it. I'm not really sure how big that ferrule is. I might have to... I didn't mark my ferrules very well. I went back in and marked some of them. I didn't get that marked very well. And this line is over here. The first layer will take you the longest. Hi Charlene. Hi Judy. Good to have you guys here. Okay, let's see. We haven't used this color yet. Let's use some of this one. I can see my ferrule line on this one. It's not the only one I can see, but it doesn't matter if I've gotten paint on it. I can paint over it. You know, we'll be putting little dabs of paint on it anyway. Put some of that color on this side. Now I only used 2 or 3 brushes when I painted this whole thing. One to just loosely put base coats in, and one to do some detail work, and then a small round to do my little dabs of paint. Now a lot of people in the class that I taught at Palooza, Make It Take It, kind of painted their brushes almost all one color before they started adding other colors to it. This one's a little bit narrower of a brush, so I better stay up on the edge of my bristles here. I think that had red on it there. I'm going to put some more red on it because I can't see it. I probably had too much medium on those. Those have all faded into the I think this ferrule starts here. It really doesn't matter what size. I tried to make them all different sizes, but you know, you can do whatever size ferrules you want whatever you want to use on them. Okay, this one doesn't have any paint on it yet. I've got orange and pink. I've got a dark blue here and a light blue there. I think that's orange. We're going to put some purple in here. Maybe some yellow. See, if I don't clean my brush, I get a little bit of varying colors. So I've been trying to just wipe my brush off so I don't have Now if I do get out past where I don't want it, since this bag is black, you can just go in and add some black back in there. And you've got your white. If you want to create a whole nother color with your white, you can. Okay, I'm going to get some color on these over here. You can see that ferrule line right there. Get some color on it. It seemed like blue was the #1 color that people wanted to paint their brushes. Let's get some on that one that I drew on there that I'm not really happy with. Can't tell where the ferrule is. I'll put it up there. I can't see where I drew my line. Go ahead and go down the edge of this because that brush is in a weird place. So hopefully it will turn out. Anyway, when I don't rinse my brush out and just wipe it out, it creates a whole new color that, you know, I don't have on here. I don't know what color I had there, but now I've got green there, so there we go. I've got green and pink and that purple color, so let's do some orange over here. I just wanted my brushes to be all different colors. This is how I painted my original one. I just grabbed color and put it wherever. How are my eyes doing? Well, they're doing okay. They had a spell where they were doing really good, and I was happy about that because I went like 2 months without having to take antibiotics, but I've already been on another 30-day round, and I took the last one today. And today they've been the worst they've been, so I don't know what I'm going to do about them. It's a little discouraging and a little bit frustrating. Okay, I've got a light blue there. I think I want to put red on here. That looks like the ferrule's right there. So, you know, they've had their good days, and I thought for a while I was completely out of the woods. But it seemed like when the weather turned cold and I had to turn the furnace on, then it just all started just flaring back up again. I don't know what the furnace had to do with it, but alright, once you get your colors on, I'm going to make sure I've got paint. Oh, that brush isn't finished yet. Let me put some paint on it. I'm going to go with this darker blue, which this color here seemed to be the most popular color for people painting their brushes. I don't even know what I was talking about. What was I talking about? I was talking about my eyes. I think I was starting to talk about something else, but I don't remember. I gotta get some more orange on that edge because I didn't go all the way over. Okay, I just want to make sure my brushes are all filled in. This one is not filled in. The edge of it is over here. So anyway, with my eyes, I don't see the eye doctor again until, the eye specialist again until January. But if it keeps flaring up, he'll just have to keep calling me an antibiotic, because at this point, that's all we know to do. Let's get some green on this one. Little bit of blue back in here. I love that blending. Okay, this one has some purple down here. Put a little bit more of that in there. First layer is definitely going to fade in there. Okay, I don't know if that's red or orange. I think it's red. So how about some yellow? And hopefully I'm keeping my brushes fairly straight. For you guys, anyway. Okay, that ferrule looks like it stops right there. So, no, I don't want to do that because that color's right beside it. Let's do pink. Okay, that one's got a big ferrule. So we've got a good roughed in first layer, except for right there. This one didn't have any on it. Okay, so just a roughed in first layer. Various colors. This is one of those projects where I really don't want you to strive for perfection. If you can help it. Okay, this brush goes way out here. Let's bring that paint way out there. And it goes way over here. I just want my first layers to definitely show me where the edges of everything are. Okay, got two colors on my brush there. Okay, I think I can tell where all of my handles are. So when I go to apply my next layer on there, they'll definitely be bolder and brighter. Get a different brush. I'm going to start painting the ferrules in with their first layer. And that's just going to be a gray color. So I'm just going to take some black, that's a lot of black, and some white. And make a light to medium gray color. I'm going to have to turn it so I don't stick my hand in all of the... Again, this is just loosely painting in. Our second coats are going to give us more coverage, so don't sit there and try and work that fabric to get that paint in there for the first layer. It's just not going to work. If your paint doesn't feel like it's moving, you know, normally we would add water, so just add some. That seems like an awfully long ferrule right there. So I think I need to add some paint. Because that, I don't think that ferrule needs to be that big. No, this one's a long one. But the medium will help the paint, you know, go a little bit smoother. I'm going to paint all my ferrules gray. On my original one, I did paint a couple kind of a yellow color for a golden ferrule. But when I taught it, we just did them all gray because that was just the easiest thing to do. And since I couldn't have a huge assortment of colors, it would have just been too overwhelming. I just did them all with the silver ferrules. So, hi Donna, I'm on a camping trip, so I'll catch the replay. Just want to say hi. Well, hi Donna, thank you. I hope you enjoy your camping trip. I hope you're having great weather. So enjoy, and thanks for stopping in. Okay, so all the way across. Now my bristles will all be the same color. I think again on my original one, I painted most of them this kind of yellow color. I did paint this one brown, and these two kind of a brown color, and then this one orange, and this one's kind of green. So, you know, you can paint your bristles whatever color. If you've got a favorite brand of brush and they've got a really cool looking bristle on them, then you can paint your bristles whatever you want. But I'll be doing all of mine kind of a gold color. And so I'm just brush mixing my gray, get a little bit of the fabric medium. Gives me a little bit more flow with the paint, especially when it's the first layer. Turn it back this way now because I want to get my bag on that paper towel, get stuff all over the back of it. Okay, this ferrule looks like it goes to there, so I need some more paint on the handle. So like I said, you can use any paint that you so desire. And the fabric really is going to determine how well the paint goes on because, you know, not all fabrics are the same. Okay, there's the first layer on our ferrules there. Starting to look like paintbrushes now. And the tops, I'm going to take some white and yellow and a little bit of brown. You could probably add some orange in there too if you wanted to. Just a nice bristly color. That's too much paint on my brush. White in there. This is almost like a peach color here. I think I want a little more yellow in there. And shape your bristles how you want. You know, you got a special brush, and shape it like your favorite brush. Make this one a worn out little brush right there. I have to move that because I keep getting closer and closer to it. This one's a filbert brush, I think. We'll make it a filbert. I got a lot of flat brushes on here. So I've only got one angle one, so maybe I'll make this one an angle. That's a really big angle brush. Maybe I'll just make it flat. It's way too big for an angle brush. I'll just make it a long flat. We'll be doing some shading on here and getting everything connected. I know a couple of these I had more rough textury bristles like this one here in the center. Almost like a rake brush. Mix a little more here. A bit in here. A little bit more yellow in the mix here. I made a little angled kind of brush. Some kind of angle. Still just on first layers here. So, do a little bit more mix. This one's long, more yellow. And this one I just made a, I don't know what kind of brush it is. It's a wild brush. It's got those wild hairs on it. Happy on the couch with my blankie eating popcorn and watching you paint another cute design. Aw, that's great, Veronica. Sounds like the perfect place to be. Perfect place. Okay, let's get some more. First, I want to fill in here with this brush. Take it all the way up to the ferrule there. Get my, and then this one, I didn't take all the way to the ferrule. Okay, so when we go through here with our second layers, that all the way up there, you do not have to use the same color that you used before. That's what made the project, for me, so fun. So, you know, you just go in here and put whatever colors. If you want to use the same color, you can use the same color. I might mix some with some white and make a whole different color. Super bright green. I don't know. Let's just play it up. Not green enough? Pick up some more green. Just whatever you want to do. This is just fun painting. I don't want you to think too much about it. I don't want you to look at it as a brush. I just want you to look at it like, I'm just painting these sticks here. Just paint some sticks up. So maybe this one I decided I want a little turquoise in this one instead of all that orange. Grab some purple. I like that purple at the top. I do want them to go all the way to the bottom. I don't want them to stop. Okay, so this one here. See, once you get that first layer on, the paint goes on so much easier for the second layer. And bolder. Oh, that's pretty with that blue mixed in with that green. Makes a very pretty color. And I don't know what color I had at the bottom. It looks like I had maybe the light turquoise. Doesn't matter, I could have picked up a whole different color and put in there. So I'm just brushing it up to where it meets the other color, letting it blend. I'm going to get a little bit of medium so I can smooth that out right there. I don't really want to see the fabric. So any place that you see the fabric, just get it a little bit of medium on your brush. That'll take care of that. Just a little bit, you don't need a lot. Just enough to smooth out those colors. So that paintbrush looks good. Hello, Cheryl. So glad you're here. Alright, let me grab some red. I'm going to put some red on this one. I don't know what color was on it to begin with, but red seems like a good color to go here. That's a little too muddy, so I am going to wipe that off. Grab some more green. How fun, fun, fun. Love, love, love. Okay, I don't really know which color I have here, which pink I have. Doesn't matter. Some of that light color. Way too much. a little tiny bit of medium so I can get that to go where it needs to go. I don't know what color was up here, but now it's got that color. Just a second color, or second coat, that's all we're doing. And changing it up if you want. If you want to add a little white in there, that'll make a completely different color. Blend your blue and your green together to get a teal color. I think I did that on my original one. It's a little muddy. If my colors are muddying, I'm just going to wipe my brush off. A little bit of medium right there. So that, I don't know if that was yellow or green. It's hard to say. It really soaked in right there. We're going to make it green with a little bit of yellow mixed in. So any of your colors you can add white to and wipe it off, smooth it out. Down here at the bottom it seems to need medium. Try to make it straight. I know the colors, they're so wet. It's probably just nothing but a big shine for you guys. You can see why the blue was a favorite color, because it doesn't matter what you mix it with, it just looks so nice. Okay, this one looks red, that one looks pink, so I think I'm going to take some of my pink and mix it with some white. Let's make a whole nother color of pink here, maybe a little bit more opaque. Way too much paint. Wipe that on my brush because I had a ton of paint there. Like I said, if you get past where you want to go, because that little pink line, well, it's not really. I need to make the ferrule a little bit bigger. You can touch it up with your black. Now I really don't remember putting brown on any of my brushes here. I just used it to shade. Okay, so that looks red. Let's go with some red. I'll just try and keep them close to the colors that I started out with. Maybe that'll make it a little bit easier for you guys. I don't know if that's green or... I don't want to do too much green because the one beside has green. Okay, that was a ton of paint. That looks better. I'm going to mix some green in with that and get a teal color. Got purple there, so I need a different color. That's why I want to keep my bag away from my paper towel, because when I have excess paint on my brush, I'm wiping it off over there on my paper towel, and it's getting a little loaded down. sure what color this was, but we'll go with this light turquoise. I need a little bit of fabric medium. Little medium. You don't want to get too much medium because it'll make the paint take longer to dry. Everything will stay tacky really long time. This one here just needs more. It needs more paint. I can see too much of the fabric. It really kind of bugs me right there. Okay, that looks good. I thought you were going to paint this tomorrow, Saturday. I don't know, I may have said that, Cheryl, I don't remember. I think Saturday or Sunday I'm going to do the one that I tried to paint when my graphics card stopped working, and that was the Xbox controller. So I'm going to try and get that one done this weekend. But I probably did say I was going to do this one on Saturday. But I had tonight open, so I thought, let's just do it. I don't know what I say from day to day. So much stuff going on. Okay, that's orange. Mix a little red with it. Make it a little bit of a darker orange. I do like for them to kind of blend. So that's a little dark. Lighten that up. And blend where they kind of meet. I think I need to get a new paper towel because I keep picking up paint on my brush when I'm trying to wipe it off. I'm getting paint instead of wiping it off. Fabric medium. That's red, but it looks orange on there to me. I don't know how it looks to you guys, but it looks orange. Okay, I made that kind of teal color up here. Some kind of yellow there. Looks like I mixed it with something. I don't know what I mixed it with. Anybody remember? Anybody at all remember? I don't have paint on my hand because I don't remember. We'll just paint over it. some dried paint on my palette there. Picked it up. Completely changed the color of this one. I'll have to clean up that edge with some black. Let's see. Some light turquoise here. Go to the bottom of the bag. That one's pink and blue. This one was a little bit tricky to paint because see, when I get him straight, okay. Needs straightening up. Medium. Oh, that's a lot of medium. I just want to move my paint. Okay, so that's the second layers on there. I'm going to put a second layer on my ferrules while those dry. I don't know if they'll get completely dry while we're working on our ferrules. So I might have to dry them a little bit. Get that water off. Like I said, we'll be doing a little bit of shading on here. Hi, Marie. Straighten up some of my ferrules here. They're kind of I'm going to get a little water in my paint instead of the medium. I don't really need the medium right now. So your second layer, feel free to use water. Medium was just to help us get it on here and soften the paint and blend the colors. Okay. Well, let me mix some color for my bristles again. I need a little bit of brown in there. I feel like it needs more yellow. I want my bristles to be more yellow. That's better. Okay, this one got some spiky bristles. Do not try to be perfect when you're painting all this in. You are just going for a look, okay? You know it's going to be hard because we want to paint perfect. That's how decorative painting is, but there are other types of painting, so embrace it. Embrace it. Besides, we're going to be putting splatters of paint all over this, so little paint blobs. You know, getting all your base coats on, that is the least favorite thing anybody ever wants to do, but a good base coat is a foundation for a great painting. So don't ever forget that. Alright, we got a second coat on there. I'm going to give it a little bit of a dry. I won't get it completely dry, but we'll give it a little bit of some dry time here. Okay, it's mostly dry, which is good. Okay, let's do a little bit of detail. We're going to go into our brown and thin it down with some water. And we'll make some little bristles on our brushes. Maybe I need less light on or more light on. I don't know, I feel like there's such a huge glare on that. Maybe that light needs to be up a little. Could just be my monitor. So this is not massive detail. We're just giving an illusion of something going on here. So just thin your paint down, inky consistency. It's going to flow really good off of your brush. A few little bristles in there. Let's see if I can get some white, thin some white down without a ton of other colors mixed in it. And we'll put a little bit of white in here as well. Not too much. Like I said, we're going to be putting daubs of paint on our bristles. So, I mean, if you want your paintbrushes to be all nice and fine and neat, they can be that way. It's totally up to you. I did paint one of the bags that I painted, that I gave away, put into the auction at the convention. That I made them all nice and neat, clean bristles, didn't put any paint spots on them. But I have to say, I like the ones with the paint spots much better. Much better. Okay, I'm going to let those dry up there just a minute. I'm going to go down to my ferrules and work on them. So I want to shade them. Let's see, where did I shade them at? I think I did a dark gray. I don't think I did pure black. We'll have to see what will show up. Well, black's going to show up, not dark gray, so I'll have to do dark gray. Put a little bit, because we have a black background, we don't want to get too carried away with this. This is just a loose little shading on the left side here. Very loose. Should be fairly quick. I need a little moisture. Maybe more moisture. There we go. I don't want to get these too dark. I don't want them to blend into the background. I'm going to dry those bristles. Because I'm going to shade along the base of them with some brown. Now you could mix a little bit of black in with this as well. Gotta get all these little finishing details on here. I'm gonna use water now. I'm currently using an 8 flat. I've been using this size brush for a while. But I'm painting a bigger bag than what I taught at Palooza, so okay, a little bit of weight on our bristles here. Some of these bigger ones, I'm going to bring it up just a little bit. Okay, so on the ferrules, we're going to go back to them with our black. And we're going to go create our little crimp lines. So some of them will have two. You could do this with a round brush as well. And just go ahead and put a little bit of stuff down there, and then maybe that one's just got one line. Every ferrule is different. So maybe this one, I've got my brush tilted up and I'm just using the very edge of the brush to create those lines. So I don't have to go get a different brush. Just use the brush that you have and manipulate it to what works best for you. This was a long ferrule on this one, man. A little bit more paint. What is that one for? Why not? Creative license. Do whatever appeals to you. If you don't want to put those little crimp lines on there, you don't have to. They're looking super cute. Even though we're going to put paint on the tops of these, I'm going to put a little highlight on them, just a very, very small, kind of skimming the brush highlight. So this is what you can do if you don't want to put the paint splatters on your brushes. Alright, let's go into that white. And now we have to highlight this side just a little bit, and then we'll put a little line. This should be super quick because we're not like floating here. We're just kind of dragging the brush and letting it leave whatever paint it wants to leave. So I'm using that thin down paint that I made. That I mixed some water with, that we used to make our little lines in our bristles. So it's a nice thin paint. And I do want to put a little bit at the top of each. This comes together so fast after we get our initial colors on here. Now if you don't want to put the paint splatters on your brushes like I did, just give the right edge a little bit of a highlight, and the left edge you can do a little bit of some black on it. I am going to get it a little dry. Because I really want to do the highlighting. Well, I'll go ahead and do it now. I'm afraid if I wait and do it after I do my splotches that it I'm just going to put it loosely on the right side. Just kind of skim it across there. We're not floating a highlight. We're just kind of dry brushing along that edge. Again, with that thinned paint, the paint that had water in it. well that highlight's showing up on the camera for you. No, that didn't help. Not really sure which light it is that I need to change here. It did kind of fade in there quite a bit. More paint in it. I'll probably have to do it again, because it seems like it faded way down in there. Let me get some straight white here. Some of these I can still see, but most of them like just faded away. Too much water in my brush, I guess. So a little bit more white paint. And I'm being very, very loose with this, because, you know, that was my whole intention with the idea of painting these brushes. I did not want them to be neat. I just wanted to put some paint down and have fun. And that's what I want you guys to do. I just want you to put a little paint in there and have fun. Alright, I'm going to put some paint splotches on here before I do a little shading on the other side. So, when it comes to adding paint splotches, just wherever you want to put it, there's no right or wrong. White will be our last color that we put on there. So, put it on your bristles, put it on your brushes, messy, messy, messy. For those of you who have difficulty being a messy painter, this part will be the most difficult. So just pick up some paint and, ooh, I want some pink up there, maybe right there. Let's put some on this one, maybe on the ferrule. I mean, we're messy painters. Come on, let's show it in our painting, our brushes here, okay? So that was one color. Let's put some blue up on some of these. We want to put some paint on the ferrules as well. Don't limit it to just the bristles and the handles. Your paint goes everywhere. My paint goes everywhere when I'm painting, so you know, it's just dabs, and you know, just have fun with it. So just switch back and forth between your colors as quickly as you can, because that's going to make it flow much better. When you stop to like think about, where do I want to put this color, that's when you kind of get lost in the whole process of painting this thing. We don't want to stop and think about anything. We just want to pick up some paint and place it any place. Okay, wipe that off. Let's get some blue. I mean, my brush handles, I don't know about your brush handles, but my brush handles, and you put more than one color on your bristles, so don't think you can only have one color on there. My brush handles look, I've already got blue on that one. Well, it's got more blue on it. Look just terrible. Rinse that dark blue out a little bit. Alright, let's get some purple. I'm really picking up the paint and just kind of laying it on here. This will take a little while for this to paint. You don't have to put it on this thick. You can purple on that one already. You can put it on much less thick than what I'm putting it on. Okay, what color haven't I used? I haven't used the yellow. Yellow's not very bright, so I'm not sure how much of it will stay on top. It might fade into everything. start some orange. So you just keep putting paint loosely on here until you've decided your brushes have enough paint on them. Okay, let's see. Did I do pink? I did do pink. I did yellow. I did green. I did the light blue and the dark blue. I did the turquoise. I don't think I did the light blue. I haven't done red. Let's do a little red. Don't think about it. I know you're thinking, you're covering up all that beautiful work you did. That is the whole idea. Okay, so my last color that I want to dab on here is white, but I want to take some of my black. Let me get my other brush here. And put a little bit. I don't want to do too much because the background is black. I might just leave this step off completely because the background is black, and I'm afraid if I put that on there, it's going to be just not working out. Alright, so our last step on here. Now you can splatter on this if you want to splatter on it, you know, make it even more unique. I did not because that would have made a huge mess at convention, so I didn't do that. So I want white to be my last color on here. It's going to be the one that kind of brings everything forward. Don't forget the bottom of your handles. Don't keep everything up there. We got to have stuff down here too. That one hasn't gotten any paint on it, so I better put some other colors on that one. This one here doesn't have any color on it. Put some blue on it, and this one needed some more. Because I didn't use that light blue anywhere, did I? Okay, I think that looks pretty good. You can do less, you can do more. You're painting, whatever you want to do. I did do one last thing. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do it. Let me dry down here at the bottom. Get these layers down here as dry as I can. And then we'll shade at the bottom of this. Let me put them over here. The ones I need to clean over here. I'll use these two. So we're going to shade along the bottom with some black. This will set it all down into the bag a little bit more. I need more moisture here. There we go. Could also help make our handles look a little dirty too, so. And like I said, this was just a quick, fun little project. I did not want to sit down and think too much about what I was doing. I just wanted to grab my paints, play and have some fun in my paints. Okay, just kind of pushes it down into the bag there. And that is it right there. That is all I did. I think it looks pretty cute. I just love this design. I just think it is so much fun. I'll bring in some of my other ones. This one's not dry, so I don't really want to. Let me move my palette here. And I will put this one where the palette was. I think these are just so cute. I think they make a great gift. I love the hat. And then my shoes. So fun, and I did so many different bags and stuff. I had a lot of fun with it. So you can see those colors. Well, that light makes it look a little bit different, but they look a little brighter, and these colors look more toned down and muted. I know I mixed my colors more on this one, so I really like how that turned out. But that one turns out really good too. I'm very happy with it. So you could put it on so many things. Yes, you certainly could. I thought about putting it on my suitcase. I thought I would always be able to find my suitcase if I put that on my suitcase. So yeah, that's an option. Got some white paint here. I'm not sure where that came from, but let's get rid of it before we put one of our painted pieces through that. Probably came off of me. Oh my gosh. I love the, yes, it looks great. I think it's just one of the funnest, fastest, easiest designs that you can do. So, oh hi Judith. Okay. I'm not really sure why YouTube was showing me only the Facebook comments, so if anybody was on YouTube commenting, I have no idea, because they're showing me the Facebook comments. So, but anyway, if you're watching on YouTube, I don't know how the hype button works, because this is my first time I've got to kind of tell anybody about it. But I know the first week you'll want to push that hype button and get YouTube to push it out so more people can watch it. I don't think it's down there on a live. I think it is, there after the video has actually posted. So, all right, you guys, let me make myself bigger here. See which screen I need to look at. Oh my gosh, that is going to be it for this project. I hope you have enjoyed this project. It's one of my all-time faves. Of course, I say that about almost every single one of my projects, because when I get it done, a lot of times I'm like, oh yeah, that's my favorite. That's going to be my favorite forever. And then I paint the next one, and it's my favorite. So, Veronica, you're on YouTube. Okay, all right. Well, I don't know if you can see the hype button on there. Probably not, because I think it has to be a recorded video. I don't know if it's on there with the lives, but it should come up after I finish this live. It should come up. Okay, let me make sure brushes are looking good. Make sure I don't have any questions, because I did not take time to look to see if there were any questions. Are these the new colors? No, the colors I used tonight are they were fabric paints. Not the new 40th anniversary colors. I haven't used them on anything yet. I'm trying to think what I want to use them on, because I think they're going to be great colors to use. Okay, switch to YouTube. Facebook was acting up for me. Okay, well that's good to know. I had issues with Facebook yesterday. Okay, love it, Lonna. Can't wait to get it. Can't wait to get my kit. Oh, yeah, me too. Yours went out today, Linda. So, yes. I was gonna say, oh, okay. If you're in my membership group on YouTube, on Facebook, goodness, I'll spit the right words out here in a minute. I did put the link in the group so that if you guys wanted to watch it, you could. I'm sounding like I'm in a barrel. Do I sound like I'm in a barrel for everybody? Let me see. Let me see what I have on here. Let me turn that one off. Do I still sound like I'm in a barrel? I did check my sound before I went on. Oh, have I been sounding like I've been in a barrel the whole time, Judy? I just wonder if it was the whole time or if just all of a sudden it went that way. But I did turn my, I did adjust my microphone here. So hopefully that helped it. I always try to record a little bit and then go back and watch it on my computer before I go live to make sure my sound is okay. Linda, you said yes. What does yes mean? I still sound like I'm in a barrel, or I sound okay? I'm okay now. Okay, better. Okay, yes, no. You guys are confusing me. Yes, no, not now, yes. Okay. I'm taking that my sound is good. Okay. All right, you guys. You have a wonderful remainder of your evening, and I hope your weekend is blessed and you guys have a great weekend. We're going to have great weather here, but I will be doing that live with the Xbox controller either tomorrow or Sunday. I have not figured out which day I'm going to do it yet. So it kind of depends on, what we need to do around here, because we got a part on our car that we need to fix, and didn't want to disturb you while painting. Oh, no, that's fine, Judy. Anytime. You can let me know anytime, because my controls are right in front of me, so I can adjust the volume or anything. Sometimes I get feedback from my speakers, so I think I just had one. I have two microphones. One is directly above me, and one is across from me. And the one across from me I always have turned down, but I might not have had it down too far. Yes, while you were teaching, but better now. Okay, good to know. Good to know. Okay, thank you so much for letting me know that. All right, you guys, I am going to say goodbye and good night, and you guys have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you all so much, and I will get a line drawing up on the website for this for you guys, hopefully tomorrow. If I don't forget. I'm going to write myself a note right now. Okay, bye-bye, everybody.